Hello, everybody. All right. Today's episode is going to be it's a long time coming. It's part two of what I believe I entitled Linchpin Conversations Greatest Hits. We did that quite a while ago. And the thought was that now, as crazy as it is, there's been so many episodes of Linchpin Conversations, I think over 250 now. It's a lot of content, a lot of topics, a lot of everything. Of course, I encourage you to listen or watch every one from number one, right? You'll get a tremendous amount of information that'll greatly benefit you. But maybe you don't have that time. So I did my opinion anyway on the greatest hits of episodes 1 through 50. That if you're only going to listen to some select ones, I gave those recommendations. And I said I'll keep chunking it out in 50 segment chunks. And then I get distracted and didn't do it. And some people were kind enough to somewhat ping me and be like, hey, are you ever going to do part two of that? And so, yeah, okay, you motivated me. So here we are. So this is part two. So this episode of Linchpin Conversations Greatest Hits, part two, will cover episodes 51 through 100. And I had identified 12 that were, profoundly popular, impactful, or whatnot. Every one that we put out, we want to be fantastic. And sometimes I have a good sense of which ones will really take off and hit home with people. And sometimes, quite frankly, I think it'll be just a normal topic and people gravitate towards it for some reason. So, here we go. So you can probably listen to this now, or if you want later on, come back and listen to this with a little something to scratch down the 12 that I think. But I'll tell you what the episode's numbers are and a short little encapsulation of what that episode is about. So here we go. Actually, Linchpin Conversations number 51. This would help a lot of people demystify some stuff. It is entitled The Monday Monster Mash. What is it? Where did it come from? How do you use it? Who is it for? Should everybody do it because it's posted on Monday? Of course, the short answer to that is no, you should not. But if you want to know more about the MASH, Linchpin Conversations number 51. Linchpin Conversations number 58 is next on the list. And the short title for that is it ever okay to quit during a workout? Well, it's like blasphemy in the CrossFit world, right? No matter what, you just gotta suffer through the workout, even if you made a bad decision and maybe just break your back in half. No, clearly not, right? So that one is it okay to quit during a workout? And we take a little deep dive into that. Number 62, another good one. Does doing a workout unbroken matter? That's a cool one, again, that I think a lot of people benefited from, which is why it was one of the more popular ones, because I don't know when it just became a thing in some people's heads that doing something unbroken matters. Who cares if you do it unbroken? Every now and then a workout, or more frequently than every now and then, a workout will get posted and 3 or 4 rounds, whatever it happens to be, certain number of repetitions for each movement, and somebody will be like, well, I think I'm going to have to scale this one because I can't do it unbroken. No one ever said you had to do it unbroken, and that certainly shouldn't be the metric that maybe people are making so important as to whether or not they should scale something. So anyway, number 62, does doing a workout unbroken matter? That was useful for a lot of people. The next one, man, I almost feel like if you were just going to listen to one out of all the ones that I'm saying right now, this next one might be the one. It was Linchpin Conversations number 64, and it is entitled The Fitness Stock Market. And I think this one helped a lot of people, which is why it became so popular, have a good perspective, a big picture, long-term perspective about why we're working out, what we're doing, and making good decisions. So, number 64, the fitness stock market. that one was a home run. And I actually think we revisited that like over 100 episodes later. So maybe we'll come back to that in one of these future greatest hits episodes. All right, moving right along. Number 66. Not a popular topic. Well, you would think it's not a popular topic, but this episode was so warmly received that I guess it must be, or it's what people needed to or wanted to hear. So number 66 is next on the list, and that one was entitled Personal Responsibility and Accountability During Workouts. That's right. I don't know, fill in the blank. Did CrossFit hurt your back? Or did your bad decision to lift more than you should, to go faster than you should, under more fatigue than you should, to go beyond your capabilities, and to compromise your form, is that what led to you injuring your back? Or was it the inventor of the deadlift? No. Personal responsibility and accountability during workouts is a wonderful thing. So that was episode number 66. Number 68, next on the greatest hits list, and this was entitled, Workouts Are Not Programmed for You to Set a PR. Shocking, right? And, that's a good, listen to episode 68. Workouts are not programmed for you to set a personal record or a personal best. For example, a 5x3 deadlift day comes up because based upon where we are in our cycle of training, it makes sense to pull heavy off the ground that day. That's it. And it makes sense to do it in the rep scheme that was programmed for that day. That's it. Yes, we've pulled triples in the past, but that does not mean that you have to set a personal best just because this is a repeat of what happened previously. And Adrian Bosman touched on this recently in a very not random show, and I'm going to mess up his wording. But basically, just because a workout comes up again, or every workout that's programmed every day, everybody might have this mindset that it's a test. Everyone's a test. It's a test. It's like, not every workout is a test. It could just be a building day, right? Where you're just going to go in and you're going to deadlift heavy because that's what's going to benefit your body that day. If you PR, fantastic. But if you don't, you're still going to benefit from deadlifting on that day. If Helen is programmed, and we've done Helen before, Helen might be programmed not necessarily for you to set a personal best. It's because based upon what we've done previously over the last 3, 5, 7, 12 days, it makes sense to have a workout that's in like the 9 to 13 minute time domain, light loading, some pull-ups would make sense. We should go out for a run. 3 rounds is wonderful. We don't want to go below parallel based upon what we did the day before. And so Helen is a gorgeous fit based upon some of those criteria. It makes sense for the training day that we need to have to maintain long-term health and fitness for our community. It wasn't programmed of like, oh, this is a workout we've done before. You better PR today or that means things aren't going well. That's not the case. So I think that's a really beneficial episode for people to listen to. Number 68. Workouts are not programmed for you to set a personal best. Then number 69. This is a topic that comes up every now and then, and people point people towards this episode, so I'll highlight it. And it's entitled, Working Long Hours and Only Doing 3 Workouts a Week. So that will come up regularly, like I'm in a bit of a tough phase in my life, work's crazy, kids are crazy, whatever it happens to be. I know there's 5 workouts a day. I can only get in 5 workouts a day, 5 workouts a week. I can only get in 3 a week. Which 3 should I choose? What are some guidelines to help me make that decision? That episode will help you out greatly. Number 75. Okay, so we're about halfway, right, from the 50 to 100. Number 75. How intensely should you work out? There's one that will benefit a lot of CrossFitters, right? Because you can have that old mindset that CrossFit is, and it is, constantly varied functional movements at high intensity. So that must mean high intensity every day, and high must mean maximal, and that must mean every single day I'm going to have this near death, near blackout experience in the gym. No, that's not going to serve you well in the long term. It's not going to be sustainable. So, episode 75, how intensely should you work out? That will help a lot of people. Number 77, this was incredibly popular because everybody likes hearing about food and how people eat. So episode 77 was entitled, I Could Be Leaner, But I'm Not. And it was just a very real, honest chat about some of the nutritional choices that I make and why I make them and why I'm okay with those compromises, because looking great in a swimsuit is really cool. And so are baked goods. Can those two things coexist? Next, number 81. This is a great one. Deload weeks. Necessary or not necessary? That was episode 81. Enjoy that one. And let's see, we're into the 90s now, so the final couple ones that made the list. Linchpin Conversations, number 91. That one was entitled, You Are Always Authorized to Modify or Scale a Workout to Meet Your Needs. 100%, right? Yesterday's workout on Linchpin was a fantastic example of that. Test number 9, I believe, was the numeric test. And that was 5 rounds for time of a 50-foot handstand walk and 5 squat cleans at 225 pounds for men, 155 pounds for women. There are some people in the world that can do that as written. Fantastic, great, good on you. There's a tremendous amount of us that will have to scale or modify that, and we can. And we can mimic the intended stimulus, have it be appropriately challenging for where we are in our fitness journey or our skill set. Maybe you're very strong and you don't mind that barbell, but you're not there with the handstand walk. No worries. You can educate yourself and surround yourself with people that you will be armed with the knowledge as to how to do that appropriately, or vice versa. Handstand walk, no problem. No way that squat clean's happening. We can work with that as well. Or, like a lot of us, I'm not there yet with my handstand walk. You're going to have to help me out in modifying that, and the weight's too heavy. Easy day. Easy day. Answers for that are available as well, and a lot of us, that resonates with. So, Conversations 91, you are always authorized to modify and scale a workout to meet your needs. And one more, the final one of the Greatest Hits Part 2, covering episodes 51 to 100, is Linchpin Conversations number 97. And this was entitled, A Fun and Highly Informative Conversation with Chris Hinshaw. And Chris is a wealth of knowledge on running and multiple things in the aerobic capacity world. And we had a good discussion of why is running important, what are the major benefits, how to improve your speed versus your stamina, how to use your rest periods and all that stuff. It's a great, great, great conversation. And a lot of that information as well that Chris was talking about, you can find in a good old CrossFit Journal article. You're going to put me in the spot here, entitled, I think it's entitled Rest and Recovery in Interval-Based Training. So, Rest and Recovery in Interval-Based Training. If you go into the old Googles, type that in, CrossFit Journal, and a great, super helpful CrossFit Journal article will pop up, and then you can just have that as a nice reference in the future. So, that's it. I think that was 12 episodes. Again, Linchpin Conversations Greatest Hits. This is part 2, covering episodes 51 to 100. I think we've done just over 250 total right now, so I'll keep chunking them up in 50 episode blocks and letting you know what's been really popular with everybody out there in the community. I hope that helps. I know I normally do these on Tuesday, but yesterday was a bit wacky, and so that didn't happen. So we're doing it here on Wednesday. Have a wonderful day. enjoy the 100-meter sprints today, and we'll talk.